righty. Well, good morning. Do that so you can actually see my face. Well, good morning. I'm Jonathan Eades, and I'm the head of school, and I am absolutely delighted to, in person, welcome you to the 2021 Distinguished Alumni Awards Ceremony. I want to offer a special welcome to all of our honorees and their families who are here with us in person, and then to all of those of you who are watching us as we're streaming online. Welcome, and thank you again for being here today. Distinguished alumni. In reality, all of Kinkaid's graduates are leading distinguished, powerfully impactful lives. One of the measures of a truly great school is the strength of its alumni. For sure, that strength is displayed in the quality of this year's Distinguished Alumni Award winners and the many alumni, parents of alumni, current and retired faculty, and friends who have expressed their profound excitement and strong support for this most worthy group of recipients. Our alumni are wonderful ambassadors for and supporters of Kinkaid. In my first year here, even during a global pandemic, I have repeatedly seen the strength, passion, engagement, and fierce loyalty of our Falcon alumni. I have witnessed this both in person and virtually at Alumni Association board meetings, talent talks, Alumni Leadership Day, Phone-a-thon, at our golf tournament, at our Sporting Clays event, parent coffees, athletic events, in the boardroom, and even at carpool. I look forward to meeting many more of our incredible alumni, all distinguished in their own ways and making their meaningful mark on our world in the years to come. Now, I would like to introduce our MC, Michelle Miller-Mullet, a member of the class of 2000 and the chair of the Alumni Association's Distinguished Alumni Selection Committee. Michelle, thank y'all.
Ooh, that's better. Thank you, Jonathan. The Distinguished Alumni Awards were established in 1990 by the Alumni Association to honor outstanding alumni and non-alumni friends for their service to the school and the community. I had the privilege this year of leading the committee, and we enjoyed reviewing the qualifications of the nominees and making the selections from a large group of very accomplished alumni. We are very grateful that the past recipients of these awards continue to be such great ambassadors for our school. Before we proceed, I want to recognize our 2020 Distinguished Alumni Award winners who, due to the pandemic, we were not able to celebrate in person last year. Distinguished Honorary Alumnus Dawn Sanders, Distinguished Young Alumna Lisa Kaplan Rosenzweig, class of 2000, Distinguished Alumnus Jay Vyas, class of 1985, and Outstanding Alumni Service Award recipient Malcolm Waddell, class of 1970. What a tremendous group of honorees. Thank you for being such phenomenal representatives of Kinkaid. And now we will present the 2021 Distinguished Alumni Awards. There are full bios of each speaker in your programs and online at kinkaid.org, which I encourage you to read. I will give them each a brief introduction here before they accept their awards. This year's Distinguished Honorary Alumnus is Mr. BERDON Lawrence. BERDON is a Louisiana native. He attended Tulane University, where he earned his undergraduate degree and his MBA. He was founder and president of Hollywood Marine, a privately owned barge company that merged with Kirby Corporation in 1999. BERDON is involved in several community organizations, including Baylor College of Medicine, MD Anderson, and the Caesar Kleberg Wildlife Research Institute. He served on Kinkaid's Board of Trustees from 2009 until 2020. BERDON has been married to his wife, Rolanette, for 46 years. They have one daughter, Heather, and two sons, Mark and Charles, class of 1996, as well as 7 grandchildren, all of whom graduated from Kinkaid or are current students. Now please enjoy this short video about BERDON.
BERDON asked David and myself down on a hunting trip at his ranch in South Texas, and we went down there, and that started a relationship that really has never ended. Ever since then, we've gone down to the ranch and spent the last 20 plus years, New Year's Eve, celebrating with him down there. So it's been a wonderful experience.
I've known BERDON Lawrence since 1970. He was 28 years old. I was an old man at 34, and he was introduced to me by one of my friends. And BERDON was an entrepreneur already, and he wanted to get 3 new barges for his future company to be called Hollywood Marine. And he couldn't borrow money at 28 years old, so CIT agreed to make him a loan if he had a guarantor. And after spending some time with BERDON, I developed a great confidence in him. It was no question he was trustworthy. He wanted to do what's right. He was going to be conservative in his new business. So I said, I will guarantee the loan for you. And that's how Hollywood Marine was founded in 1970 by BERDON Lawrence.
He is so focused, so dedicated, and he perseveres in everything he does. He's been extremely successful. He started Hollywood Marine with, I believe, 1 or 2 barges, and took that to merging with Kirby Corporation in, I believe, like 1999, and became chairman of the board and ran the company for a number of years. And he's just extremely diligent as far as what he does.
Of all the companies I know put together, I don't know of any CEO, founder that worked harder than BERDON in building relationships, and he has an incredible amount of friends.
I think his biggest accomplishment is marrying Rollinette and having her as a partner in his business. She was always there beside him, and she always was aware that the business was extremely important to him, and he worked that business very hard and very successfully. And I think Rollinette was there with him the whole time.
I know a lot of people, I know a lot of businesses, I know a lot of successful people. I don't know anybody has done a better job of it than BERDON.
I've learned a lot from BERDON. I've learned what it's like to really be a good friend, and how to treat your friends. No one is a better friend and through thick and thin than BERDON is. He's always been there for his friends, whether they be his friends or his employees. He's very dedicated to them.
BERDON was my confidant, my advisor in the bank for 55 years. As a result of BERDON, I never took a loss on anybody in the barging business. And so his success was a huge accomplishment for me because he kept me out of trouble. And not every banker can say that.
I believe BERDON is so deserving of this award for the contributions that he's made to the school, both in his input as a board member and also as the contributions he's made financially that he and Rollinette have made to this school. The family, they just had a giving heart. They've always given, and for that, I admire him so much.
Anything that BERDON gets involved with, and when he's involved in sponsoring something that his kids are involved with, like Kinkaid, he gives it his all. I know he was a good board member. I know he loved the school, and he always felt like his kids were getting the best there.
BERDON, congratulations. You are so deserving of this award. I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for you, your family. I believe everybody feels the same way, that no one is more deserving, and I really want to congratulate you and wish you the best.
Well, BERDON, I can't tell you how much I love you, and Yvonne does, and our family does, and the relationships we've had for all these years are absolutely priceless. I am so happy to see you get this honor from Kinkaid. I don't know of anybody more deserving, and I can think of a lot of honors for you. So we've got a lot of years left to earn some of those, BERDON. So good luck. We love you.
Thank you, BERDON, for all you have done for Kinkaid and for our community. Mr. Eades. We're so proud to be able to honor you today. Please join me in recognizing Kinkaid's 2021 Distinguished Honorary Alumnus, BERDON Lawrence. And now please join me in viewing BERDON's acceptance remarks.
Thank you, Walter and Jean, for your kind words and your long-term friendship. We've had a great run together. I want to thank Kinkaid. They've been a great asset to our family. We've had 10 family members. Many have graduated and some are still there. We've been really proud of the good education they get, and they've all done well in colleges, thank goodness to Kinkaid. I just want to say thank you very much to Kinkaid. I'm really honored by this award. So thank you very much.
Thank you again, BERDON. Our second recipient is the Distinguished Alumnus, Darrell Bock, from the class of 1971. Darrell is the Senior Research Professor of New Testament Studies at Dallas Theological Seminary, as well as Executive Director of Cultural Engagement for the Hendricks Center there. He has earned recognition as a Humboldt Scholar, is the author of over 40 books, and works in cultural engagement as host of the seminary's The Table podcast. Darrell entered Kinkaid in second grade and was a member of the SBC championship basketball team his senior year. He has been married over 45 years to his wife, Sally, and is the proud father of 2 daughters and a son, and is a proud grandfather to 5. His siblings, John, Darcy, and Jody, also attended Kinkaid. Now please enjoy this short video on Darrell's professional career and life at Kinkaid.
I first met Darrell about 60 years ago. I think we were in second grade at Kinkaid, and we've been best friends ever since. So we've grown up together. We were in each other's weddings, and we know each other's children, and we've tracked each other and helped each other as we've grown professionally as well. So dear friends for many, many years.
I've always admired the focus that he has. You know, I'm his older brother. And as an older brother, part of my job is to keep him humble, keep him right-sized. I mean, look at this, right? I mean, this is his magnum opus. His books at my home take up an entire shelf.
It might not be quite apparent to other classmates or other Kinkaid supporters why Darrell is so deserving, because his work is dealing with the clergy. But if you were within that clergy, it becomes very apparent Darrell's effect and influence.
Darrell's mind is in a different, if you will, realm than most people's. I mean, what he contemplates are what's in these books and how to communicate what's in the books or in the Bible to people like us, lay people.
Darrell is also a world-class New Testament scholar. He's accomplished in terms of publishing, and he gives lectures all over the world. And even just 3 years ago, there was a volume published in his honor by people in his field, and I had the privilege of writing a foreword to that. So Darrell is a scholar, but he's also now a cultural critic, and he's also moving in important ways there. Darrell now is on the Board of Trustees at Wheaton College. This is where I teach, Wheaton College. This is the historic building on campus. And so in a strange kind of way, history has brought us together in such a way that now Darrell, in some sense, at some level, actually is my boss.
If you are to go ask any of the pastors or some of the other clergy at the churches here in Houston, all of them are going to nod and know who Darrell is. And not only here in Houston, but it's also throughout Texas, United States, and worldwide. He travels extensively throughout the world each year, going to different countries and teaching and spreading the word. And you don't get that opportunity unless you're one of the worldwide authorities on your subject.
When he was in elementary school or in junior high, he would get so full of emotion, he would kind of grab himself and just shake with the energy. And we used to call him Squeaky. And ever since that time, he's maintained that energetic pace, doing everything, everywhere, all the time. That's Darrell, both here in this country and even around the world.
I think the impact that Kinkaid had on him was gave him a place to grow. It gave him the opportunity to spread his wings and get involved in different things, and to succeed at those things in an environment where he was able to participate and not get swallowed up by the large size of the school.
The connection with Darrell and I through Kinkaid was through sports. He was an excellent basketball player at a very young age. And in our senior year, we had an excellent basketball team. We ended up winning the SPCA tournament, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work.
What I'm proudest about Darrell is that he's a good father and a good husband, and that family's really important to him. He's a great grandfather. And I think the results of his being such a good father is shown in how wonderful his children are, how great his grandchildren are.
Darrell, un abrazo desde el alma, amigo querido. And so, Darrell, it's been a blessing to be able to share these few minutes, and I hope you can feel and sense my love for you.
On behalf of the class of 1971, congratulations.
Well, I would like to say congratulations, Darrell, and it is mind-boggling that you got this award.
Thank you, Darrell, for all you do in the theological field. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Darrell Bock to the stage as we recognize him as Kinkaid's 2021 Distinguished Alumnus.
Well, John, it is mind-boggling. I want to thank Kinkaid Alumni Association for the privilege of this. I have to say, when I got this communication that this was being done, I was totally surprised. The school laid a foundation for me that is hard to explain on the one hand, and yet is fundamental to everything that I've done in my life. It taught me to care about what goes on in the world. It taught me to care about people. It taught me to care about people sitting next to me and people who I didn't even know. And it taught me to adjust to change, which certainly has happened since 1971. It's mind-boggling to see pictures of me actually having hair. So it is a real privilege to receive this honor. The debt that I owe is to a profession that actually I have given my life to, which is the teaching. There is something very profound about investing your life in the future of people who you see potential for. And that's why we teach, and that's why we give, and that's why we love, and that's why I love Kinkaid.
Thank you, Darrell, for your remarks. You are most deserving of this award. Our distinguished young alumna this year is Michelle Cho, a member of the class of 1998. Michelle graduated from Stanford University in 3 years, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Economics. She is an award-winning social entrepreneur and CEO and co-founder of Gladio, an inclusive online career navigation platform for the future of work. Gladio has helped hundreds of thousands of students, teachers, and counselors learn about the diverse array of careers and industries. Her passion is storytelling, which she has used to become an independent film producer. Michelle entered Kinkaid in the 1st grade. She graduated cum laude and played varsity volleyball, basketball, and softball. Her 3 sisters, Christina, Grace, and Alicia, are also alumni. Now please enjoy this short video on Michelle's career and life at Kinkaid.
Michelle is co-founder and CEO of Gladio, a tech social enterprise that we co-founded together. Gladio is a digital media platform that helps people from all backgrounds find and navigate their dream career. Any entrepreneur will tell you that you have to wear many hats. Some of the key hats that Michelle wears are she is the key relationship builder for the company, whether it comes to sales or strategic partnerships. And she's also the key creative for the company. She's a great storyteller and a video producer.
Michelle has both humility and vision. Being an entrepreneur, you're doing something that no one's ever done before and creating something from nothing. And while along the way, you get a lot of no's and there are a lot of bumps along the way. And she was never afraid to say, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out, or I'm going to find someone that can help me figure it out. And her perseverance really helped move Gladio forward.
She never lets the naysayers and the roadblocks get in the way of her goals, ultimately. She always knows where her North Star is. She has a really strong handle on her voice and her purpose in life, and she is utterly incapable of not being true to herself. I am the oldest of 4 girls. Michelle's number 2. We all attended Kinkaid from 1st to 12th grade. And even though we graduated about 20 to 25 years ago, we definitely know what a significant impact Kinkaid has had on our life trajectory.
At Kinkaid, she was able to be well-rounded. She played varsity sports, she took AP classes, was able to play cello in the orchestra, and being at a small school that had those opportunities, and also learning how to study really helped her and prepared her for Stanford.
She excelled academically, she was a varsity athlete in volleyball and basketball, and she was involved in community service. I think there was a part of her that was also really ready to get out there in the real world and meet people from different walks of life and just explore. And Kinkaid was actually really great for that too. During interim term, where she did a job shadow, I think at ABC News, we didn't realize at the time how rare and lucky we were to get those kinds of experiences in high school. And in a way, those were actually some of the earliest inspirations for what became Gladio.
When I look back at our time at Kinkaid, Michelle spent a lot of her high school taking care of Grace and me after our mom passed away. And I'm so grateful to her for being so positive and giving us hope, especially during times where it was really dark for us.
She went from the fun-loving, a little bit rebellious Michelle to class mom. And in fact, she won that award her senior year at Kinkaid. She felt a really deep responsibility towards her younger sisters after that happened, and she brought Grace and Alicia everywhere. Definitely not the coolest thing to do as a high schooler, bring your little sisters around, but they'd walk around kind of calling her Unni, which means older sister in Korean. And I think today with Gladio, she's still a bit of an older sister to a lot of people, in a sense, mentoring them and energizing them to achieve their dreams.
Congrats, Michelle, on receiving this honor, and I'm so glad that you get to share your story and your achievements with the current students and the Kinkaid alumni.
What you've created in Gladio, how you've lived your life, you've given people a gift that gives them hope and direction.
You're so deserving of this award. I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Michelle, for giving Kinkaid the great pleasure of honoring you. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Michelle Cho to the stage as we recognize her as Kinkaid's 2021 Distinguished Young Alumna.
First of all, Michelle, who made the video, that was the second time I watched it, and I'm still cried again. So thank you so much. I'm so honored, grateful, and humbled to be here. Thank you, Kinkaid Alumni Board, for this award. So I was asked to say a few things about the Kinkaid experience, and I do want to be completely honest. I realized when I was putting my thoughts together that I had blocked out a lot of my childhood just because of the hardship. So when I went down memory lane, it was a little difficult, but I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity to do this for this occasion, because I think that I was able to think about what Kinkaid meant to me, what my childhood meant to me. So I think just this opportunity is something that I'm very, very grateful for. I do want to take this time. I want to I think I've never had the opportunity to thank all of the parents, even students who donated platelets to my mom when she was sick. I mean, during that time it was difficult, and Kinkaid, the community of Kinkaid really stepped up, and I just wanted to thank whoever's watching. I know you know who you are, who donated that. I'd also want to thank my father for being here. You know, as a father who had to raise 4 young women, words can't even describe how much I thank you for that. So here goes. Looking back, I think the biggest thing that Kinkaid gave me was confidence and courage. You know, as children of immigrants, we sometimes feel insecure because our parents might not speak English perfectly, they don't have a network of contacts, and mainly because we don't see ourselves represented in the mainstream world. But I believe my parents and Kinkaid allowed me to leave high school with confidence in myself and in my future. So it wasn't 1 or 2 things from Kinkaid that I appreciate, it's the whole. It's the ethos and design of this school, like the encouragement to be well-rounded, to give us opportunities in the real world, meeting real-life adults, so that we can mature, and the high expectations that they've placed on us. Because of the tough curriculum, the teachers who expected so much from us, and the opportunities that were given to me at Kinkaid, like interning at, it was actually CBS News, for interim term. I left Kinkaid feeling like I could do anything. That confidence and courage helped me pursue a career in the entertainment industry where there were hardly any Asian Americans. That confidence, courage helped me start an ed tech company. And that confidence and courage helped me do speeches like this. I'm thankful, so thankful for my time at Kinkaid, for my fellow classmates of 1988, and for my partner in crime, Zachary. And thanks again, Kinkaid Alumni Board, for this award.
Thank you, Michelle, for your great remarks. We're very proud to honor you. The recipient of the Outstanding Alumni Service Award is Jane Hoffert Moore from the class of 1946. After graduating from Baylor University, Jane came back to Houston, where she and her husband raised 3 daughters, Susan, Alicia, and Sally. She served on the Alumni Association board from 1969 to 1999, and again from 2011 to 2017. For over 10 years, she has been the class correspondent for the classes of 1928 to 1949. Jane entered Kinkaid in the 1st grade on the Richmond campus and graduated as a lifer. Jane's Kinkaid legacy continued on with her granddaughter, Rachel Alice Ishmael, who entered as a freshman in 2008 and is escorting her grandmother to the stage today. Now please enjoy this short video on Jane's life and her strong commitment to Kinkaid.
I met Jane the first day of 1st grade. Jane was great. She was always cheerful and just a nice classmate.
I think we met Jane in 1997 at church. She goes to St. Paul's United Methodist Church, and she came to a dinner of St. Paul's Foundation. And she found out that we had a daughter who was contemplating high schools and where to go. And she said, well, she has to go to Kinkaid.
I met Jane Moore when we were both on the alumni board together back in the late 90s. And you would have never believed that this woman, who was full of all this energy, actually graduated from the school back in 1946.
I think Jane actually called Don North to put in a good word for Louise's admission, and Louise was accepted.
Kinkaid's been a part of her life since she was 6 years old. She wrote the class notes for the Alumni magazine for years and years, and she'd call me and ask me what was going on. And she'd call me and tell me all the people she'd talked to. She tracked them down. She was like the FBI, but they had no chance of escaping Jane.
When I go through the Kinkaid magazine, I always go for the class notes. And she is the only one that keeps up with anybody from the 1940s.
I think one of the greatest things that the school did was create the Alumni Association. And the fact that people like myself from the class of 1970 and Jane from the class of 1946 had a chance to interact and for the benefit of the school. And Jane was able to do that 3 different times. It just gave us a real sense of continuity and a connection back all the way to the beginning of the school. Many years ago, when Susan moved to town, she brought with her her daughter Rachel. And I can particularly remember a visit at her home when Jane was so excited about the fact that Rachel was applying to Kinkaid, and then flash forward a few times and I saw her again and she said, oh, she's gotten into Kinkaid. And of course, Rachel is a legacy and ended up following Jane there in the tradition, just like my daughter Amanda did for me.
Jane's impact on us obviously centered around Kinkaid. Louise has always said that she was totally prepared for Duke University from her education at Kinkaid. Her friendship has just been phenomenal, like family.
I mean, I don't think that I would have gone to Kinkaid without, you know, Mrs. Moore's help, and obviously now my son's in pre-K there, and so it's a big part of our lives. I don't think anyone was more excited to have Christopher get accepted into pre-K than Mrs. Moore, and it's been so fun, I think, for her to see him start and, you know, start on his Kinkaid journey and watch him develop and learn and go through the same traditions that she went through and that I was able to go through as well.
I think Jane deserves the award because of all the years of service that she's put in for Kinkaid. As you all know, she's a She's a lifer. She's gracious. She's smart. She couldn't be kinder. And all those reflect what Mrs. Kinkaid had tried to build into her school to begin with. Not just an academic child, but a well-rounded child. And Jane is the epitome of that. She's the poster child for that. But her service to the school as an alumna and as a student is second to none, and that's why she deserves this award.
Congratulations, Jane.
Congratulations, Mrs. Moore. We're so excited and thrilled for you.
Congratulations to the #1 Falcon, Jane Moore. We love you.
Congratulations, Jane.
Jane, congratulations on your award. I can't imagine anybody would deserve it more than you. You've been such a dedicated alum all these many, many years.
In my 20 years at Kinkaid, I've been fortunate to meet hundreds of alumni. There's no one quite like Jane, as you heard in today's video. She's an extraordinary ambassador for our school. Although Jane and I are not technically related, we are part of the same family, the Kinkaid family. Jane, congratulations to you on this most deserved award.
Kinkaid is very fortunate indeed to have alums like you, Jane. Please join me in recognizing her as Kinkaid's 2021 Outstanding Alumni Service Award recipient.
Can you hear me? Well, I just learned a lot about myself by watching this. I'm going to have to live up to it now. But I do want to first say, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the honor you are giving me. And to each of you that has used their time, especially now, to organize this, I love you for it and appreciate and think about every minute you've used to put it together. I also have another happy moment for today, April the 16th. This is my father and mother's anniversary date, and I am thrilled to be able to remember both in the same year. And I have a feeling that they're with me today. They're the ones that wanted me to be at Kinkaid and put me there in the first grade. 12 years later, I graduated, and I had a fabulous foundation for college. When you're in college, you see a lot of people that don't know how to study, and it makes it much harder. And that's one thing we learn at Kinkaid, how to study. I want to also say that it was a great experience to be on the old campus, a beautiful building, 5 acres on Richmond Road. And it's also been a wonderful experience for me to participate in different ways on our new campus here. And I've been a member of the board, Alumni board, and I have worked with the archivist, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. I want to say this, Kinkaid is 116 years old. That in itself tells you something. And the school is well thought of both in the educational world and the business world. because I'm going to tell you, there are two jobs that I know definitely when I started working as a graduate of college that gave me that job because my resume showed that my education at Kinkaid School, and I will believe that till the day I die. So study hard, you that are here now, and play hard too on our time that you have for that. But don't shirk your scholastic duties, and you can take your car keys and your what's the other things that I was saying? Car keys and your birth certificate and your diploma from the Kinkaid School and go most anywhere you want to. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your remarks, Jane. You are truly the perfect example of what it means to be a loyal alum. The final award is named for Dr. Ed Trusty, who served as interim head of school from 2018 until 2020. The second ever recipient of the Edward M. Trusty Jr. Core Values Ambassador Award is longtime teacher and coach Tom Way, who spent 44 years at Kinkaid before retiring this past August. Tom Way taught and coached at his high school alma mater, St. Thomas High School, briefly before joining Kinkaid's faculty and staff. He has taught and coached hundreds and hundreds of Kinkaid graduates, myself included. Anyone who walks the halls of Kinkaid over the past 40 years knows Mr. Way and how valuable he is to our school. Please enjoy this short video on Mr. Way and how he has been an integral part of the Kinkaid family.
I was brought up to the varsity coaching staff in 1991, and Tom was the defensive coordinator here. I was working with the linebackers and defensive ends, and I got to know him very quickly and how he liked to do things. He's a terrific coach, a terrific mentor. Tom had a way of working with the kids and the coaches that left us, something to be desired for us. We learned so much from him.
So I met Tom when I first started at Kinkaid in 2009. And I have to say, as a new person, a lot of people who had been working at Kinkaid took me under their wing and helped me get familiar with the school and grow. And he was one of the ones who was very instrumental.
I had him for geometry. I think that was in 9th grade. No, it was 10th. Yeah, it was 10th grade, I believe, because I was taking the math classes with the guys in the grade below me. And so we had Mr. Way geometry in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we'd have football. So it's Mr. Way in the morning, Coach Way in the afternoon. Eventually, it all just becomes Coach Way the whole time. And it was great.
So Tom's job is very interesting because it was a lot of jobs. One was putting together the international trips and all the details and working with the faculty sponsors on figuring out how to put the trip together, and that was a lot.
We're talking about a man who's given his life to this school, and he's given his life to teaching and coaching and impacting hundreds or thousands of students.
So when I think of what was one of Tom's biggest accomplishments, First is generations of students that he has taught. That is such a huge accomplishment, thinking about how you have multiple generations that you have been a part of their life. And then they're gonna go into the world, and things that you have touched upon that they're gonna contribute to the world. So I think that piece is really cool.
We led the greater Houston area in defense, I think 3 years in a row. We were in the top 3, 7 out of 8 years at one point. And our kids loved playing for them, loved keeping it simple, and loved going out on Friday nights and finding a way to win games.
I would say Kinkaid is a second home to Tom. He loved being at Kinkaid, and I think Kinkaid means a lot to Tom. Just like, you know, Tom means a lot to Kinkaid.
He's a foundation piece for this community and this school, and what it means, you know, for students and student athletes who attended Kinkaid. At some point or another, their path crossed with Mr. Way. And that's saying something when he has impacted that many people.
When you're here for 43 years, number one, you are loyal. And I think being able to work at a place like Kinkaid, working with the kids that he was able to work with, meant the world to him.
I just want to tell you congratulations on this award. I can't think of anybody more deserving.
You have meant so much to me throughout the years. You taught me so much about football out on the football field, and you taught me so much about life as well.
I wanted to congratulate you for a lifetime of incredible commitment and kindness and so much caring to Kinkaid. You have treated so many of us like family, and you are our family, and you have gone above and beyond in so many ways. Thank you and congratulations.
Kinkaid is so lucky to have a teacher and coach like Tom Way. Unfortunately, Mr. Way could not be with us in person today, so retired teacher and colleague Mr. John Gurman will accept this award on his behalf. Mr. Gurman was actually named the Distinguished Honorary Alumnus in 2003. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
When I was asked to stand in for Tom at this, okay, you're right, I'm sorry, thank you. Now you have to look at me, it's a defense mechanism. When I was asked to stand in for Tom at this ceremony, I told Tom Moore that I'd never done anything like that in my life, but that I had seen it done many times on TV, you know, accepting the award on behalf of yada, yada, yada. So I thought I'd give it a try, and hope in so doing not to be too Oscar-esque at it. This is an award that recognizes honesty, kindness, respect, and responsibility. And this award was made for Tom, or perhaps Tom was made for it. I think in reality, it is both. And you should know that it's always been that way. I have known Tom for longer than either one of us would care to publicly admit. We were classmates for 4 years in high school. We were classmates for 4 years in college. And then we were teaching colleagues here at Kinkaid for 35 years. And I well remember when that reassociation began. It was in the spring of 1976, and I got summoned to the office of our upper school principal, J. Barry Moss. That in its own right could be a rather fearsome thing. And then when I showed up, he closed the door, and suddenly it was a fearsome thing. But all he wanted was to know what I knew about Tom, because Tom Way had just applied to teach at Kinkaid. Well, that was anything but fearsome. In fact, trust me, it was one of the most pleasant experiences I ever had behind doors in J. Barry Moss's office. We hired Tom, and I remain very proud to have played my small part in that. If you ever had the good fortune to work alongside Tom, and I did in a variety of endeavors, you quickly discovered that he was someone to be reckoned with and absolutely trusted because of these innate core values. And students felt the same way. The sophomores in his advisory, the students in his math classes, the students whom he coached, as Blake McKay mentioned, those who traveled with him on his many interim trips, or just those whose paths he happened to cross in the upper school hallways. He was family. For a while, I officed next to him excuse me, in the upper school library. And I was struck by the veritable procession of students who would come to his office seeking help, seeking advice on problems, or oftentimes they were personal, I heard crying sometimes, personal teenage type problems. Yes, the walls in the upper school library were paper thin, you see. They knew that he respected them, that he would be kind to them, that he would be honest with them, and that he would provide them a reasonable perspective on their problems. Hell, on occasion, I too would walk through the door with problems on my mind. But I also knew I had an ultimate secondary objective, that when we wound up with whatever my problems were, we would end up talking about China. And I remember even being subjected on one occasion to Chinese music in his office. But I still came back. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to accept this award on Tom's behalf. And I will pass it on to him with the blessings and thanks, not only of the school, but also of all of his colleagues and his students and parents whose lives he has graced with his valuable presence. I just so wish that he could be here. He deserves not only to hear this recognition, I think, but to feel it. So get well pronto, Mr. Way, please.
Thank you, John, for your touching remarks on Tom's behalf. We are proud to present the 2021 Distinguished Alumni Honorees. Congratulations. I will now turn the mic back over to our head of school, Jonathan Eades.
I got to tell you, I feel a little emotional up here. What an inspirational day and inspirational recipients. I am new here at Kinkaid. I've been here 10 months, and when I came, I sensed the strength of this place, of which there are many, is the people. And as I hear the videos and the speeches, I'm humbled and I'm honored to be the head of school, but you know what? I'm also a Kinkaid dad. We have 3 kids here, and I could not be more pleased to be a part of this sort of community. So I want to thank all of our winners for your grace, your example, for representing Kinkaid and excellence at all you do. And again, just being an incredible role model for all of us, and certainly for me. So thank you, and let's congratulate the winners one more time. Amazing. Before we conclude this very special, important day, just a few words of gratitude. Michelle, this was fun. I enjoyed doing this with you. Can we thank Michelle? She did a fabulous job. So I'd like to thank you and the distinguished alumni committee for your great work in planning the event, but also selecting extraordinary, lights out, extraordinary winners. I want to thank our entire advancement team, but especially I see Carly back there. Thank you for your leadership. And I'm sad, I think she's outside the doors, but Rochelle Barnes put together the video. How great a job did she do in compiling that? So let's thank her too. In the next few days, we will post photos and a web link to today's event. And throughout the year, we encourage you to follow our social media accounts for event updates, photos, and alumni accomplishments. And we look forward to, I look forward to gatherings in the upcoming year, both in Houston and across the country. Better days of in-person community and fellowship ahead. Looking forward to that. We are so fortunate here at Kinkaid to have a very active alumni association. That was something that was readily evident to me when I was just even looking at Kinkaid, and now that I've been here, I'm just grateful for their partnership and their passion for our school. So a very special thank you to hundreds of alumni who serve as volunteers, who give their time and their talent to the Kinkaid School, and also their treasurer, over 1,000 alumni who make a gift to Kinkaid each year. So finally, to our online audience, thank you for tuning in. Further evidence of why this place is so special. And again, thank you everybody for being here in person, for support of our honorees. And so honorees, the last bit of instructions, when the ceremony is over here in just a moment, we'll depart through those doors, and we've got a luncheon for you, a celebratory lunch. And we're gonna do a group photo of our honorees right outside here, right before we get you some food. Everybody, thank you for being here today. One last congratulations to all our honorees, and go Falcons. Thank you.